Hello grade 11 and 12 students. I'm going to summarize this poem for you and unpack it and make it as easy as it could possibly be. My approach is, what could they possibly ask in this poem? So I want to help you understand what's going on here, learn the necessary vocab, and then sort of spot these questions and what they can ask. They don't have a lot of marks to play with. So let's work smart here, and I'll help you understand this. Die Hardloper by Ernst van Heerden, and just a little bit of advertising, if you may allow it. So my books are now all available on Takealot. So if you don't have these books, so those middle two will be for grade 11 and 12, or the whole of high school. It's got stuff in there that will really just make Afrikaans super easy. There's also grade 4, 5, 6, and 7 books. If you can do me a massive favor and just go to the description in this link and post my Takealot link in your WhatsApp status, or just post the link to this video on your WhatsApp status and share it with your friends from other schools and with your teachers. That'll really, really help me, and I would appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Let's get into the poem. Okay, I've got it summarized here for you on OneNote, and I took, what you'll see here is the Afrikaans version, then the English translation, and then a very simplistic notes. This is all you really need. After this, you'll understand the poem, and when you go through it in class, it'll all make sense to you, and I'm sure then that the questions that you have to do in your book or whatever will be super simple. If not, contact me. My details are in the description there, and we can make a plan to help you out. So we have here the poem Die Hardloper. Okay, so it's written in quite old English. It's just from the time that the poem was written in, okay, and it's beautiful old classic Afrikaans, but don't get tricked up by that. It's just, you'll see if you use normal modern words with the poem, it's not that bad, okay. So you might at first think, what the heck, but then let me help you, let me explain. Okay, so we're going to go through the Afrikaans and the English simultaneously. Die Hardloper is the runner. Okay, so this is an athlete. It's a long distance athlete. Okay, it says there, met wilde, maar met suiwer hart, with a wild but a pure heart, het hy. Okay, so this is it's a man, it's a boy. Die woeste wedren fel begin. So with a wild and pure heart, he started this fierce race intensely. Okay, fel is quite a big word. It's an old word. Okay, so picture a runner just starting off and like going for it. Okay, you've seen that in the comrades at the beginning. They just flip and gun for it, and then some of them burn out. You know, 2 suburbs further. But anyway, en elke myl met rappe voet getart, and every mile he teased with his swift feet. This guy just glides. He's just a beautiful athlete. He just runs. It's like he's teasing the miles. He's just like 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. He's just going for it. Hy sou die vlugste lopers nog oorwin. He would beat the fastest, vlugste is just a big word for vinnigste, lopers, hardlopers. We'll see why they used the word lopers instead of hardlopers. He would, oorwin is to wen, om te wen, beat, okay. So we'll see it's 4 lines, and then there's a bit of cross rhyme there, which we'll get into later. Okay, strofe 2. Sy hart het hoog geklop, sy bloed was heet. His heart was pounding high, beating. His blood was hot. Okay, but this is positive. This guy's super fit. He's a freak of an athlete. Okay. Die winde het sy hare golf gelig. So he's got thin, straight hair, and it's bouncing up and down as he runs. Okay. He's like one of those people that you can just watch running, you know. Met snelle draf. Snelle is just another word for vinniger. Okay, again, one of those old words. So it sounds quite clean and archaic and beautiful. Okay. Met snelle draf het hy die baan gemeet. He measured the track. Okay. Gemeet means to judge something, to take on something. It's got a bit of a double meaning. Okay, die vreug van spierkrag op sy gesig. The joy, you can see the joy in his face of how he enjoys the power of his muscles, the bounciness, the springiness of his muscles, how he's just gliding and running, and it's just an athlete in full flight. Hy het geloop met stormdrang in sy bloed. Okay, with like a stormy passion, drive in his blood. Okay, it's really something that he enjoys. Say ademstoot, another old word just for asemhaal. Okay, just asemhaal, breathing, normal asemhaal. 'n jete, wind gejaag. Jete is also old word. Jete is hot wind that he's breathing out. Okay. Die see se branding in sy strenge moed. The burning of the sea. Or branding also makes you think of branders, which are the waves of the sea. And we do have a little indication that there's another depth to this poem here already. Okay. And then just keep an eye on that word geloop. I just want to make sure that I did take that note down. Hy het geloop, so it's the 1, 2 thirds and 1, 2, 3. I just want to pause quickly. Right, so then we have in that third stanza the word to. Okay, so to is an important word in any poem. You've always got to sit up and notice when you see to, because it means something. Toe hoor hy reeds die donker, bitter vraag. He hears this dark, bitter question. Okay, what could this be? And here, the whole tone, the whole atmosphere of the poem changes. And he asks these rhetorical questions, retorische vraag. Wie is die ongesiene makker in die loop? Who is this unseen, unknown companion in the race? He's like running and like winning, yay. And then suddenly he's like, what? Who the hell is, someone's close to me. How can this be possible? I'm the fastest, best runner. I've never lost a race. And suddenly there's like someone, yeah, Raja, on my shoulder. Van wie die voet langs syne en die wind, van asem agter hom, van wie die hoop dat nog 'n bors die dun wind mag vind. Suddenly there are feet, you can hear the feet next to him, and the wind. You can hear the change in the wind because there's someone else running next to you. From behind him, van wie die hoop, someone running with hope that they actually might overtake this runner, our runner, the one in front. Dat nog 'n bors die wit lint mag vind. So it's that picture words of how they break that white lint when they win. They break it and they win. Okay. And then the last stanza, die vreemde spanmaat het hy nie geken. He's never heard of this guy. This might be a newbie. He's never felt this feeling, this threat that he had to push himself a little bit. Okay? Hy weet al, hy het nou die loop gewen. So he knows he's, okay, look, I've won. This guy's not going to catch me now. But dat die ander man eendag eerste sal wees. He's like, this guy's he's almost there. He's close. One day, the day is going to come when he's going to beat me. Because I've never been pushed. I've never been pressurized like this. I've never quite felt this feeling of threat. Okay, so at this stage already, you might see that there are two kind of levels to this poem, and there are a few clues that point us to this. Okay, so if we, let me just move my face here. Okay, so if we now look at this little analysis, so I've got the yellow is strophe 1, then the purple strophe 2, then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then some notes at the bottom. Okay, so the first thing I want to sneeze, sorry. The first thing is the title. Okay, so they always like asking questions about the title, so beware. So they say die atleet, right? Die atleet. It's not atleet. It's not just atleet, or sorry, the hardloper. Not atleet. It's a specific runner, specific person. It makes, what does it do? What's the function of that? So it makes it personal. It makes us think, this could be me. Okay, and it's also personal because running is not a team sport. It's you on the road. Okay, you can't rely on a team to lift you. If you have a down day, you're not going to win. In a team sport, you can often, ride on the energy of your teammates. Yeah, you can't. And it begs for this metaphor that all of us are on our own race of life. Okay? And when we're young, we can run fast. But for each and every one of us, one day we're going to tire out, get old, and for a certainty, we are all one day going to die. Okay, that's a bit of a depressing thought if you're an 18-year-old that you're going to die one day. Okay, it's going to happen. All right. So, but anyway, just not focus on the negative here. So there is this metaphor, we can call it a metaphor of the race of life. Okay, at some points we may be ahead. In anything you do, there's probably going to be someone who eventually overtakes you. If you're the best, you're not going to be the best forever. You're not going to be the best for long. Some young kid will come along and beat you. Okay, so it says there wilde hart. So wilde hart, it kind of conjures up this idea that it's a young athlete, wild at heart, passionate at heart. They feel invincible. Okay, young in spirit. So those are just if there are something there, just say that. And he has a savor heart. When you're young, you are optimistic. You are perhaps naive. You're so positive that you're naive of the possibilities of losing. You might feel invincible. That feeling of invincibility when you're young. You have these good values of hard work, and you might even think that hard work's all you need. Hard work and commitment will guarantee that you win forever. And it doesn't. Okay, there comes a point when hard work is just not enough, and the body gives up when you're an athlete. And I mean, certainly there's a point where, if you think of the Comrades Marathon, there's a point where there's a cutoff. Okay, no 60-year-old or 70-year-old's ever going to win the Comrades. That's just the reality of life. And you see a bit of, remember this word infashi, so there's lots of this in this poem, okay, where they swap words around from the normal stompie sentence order in line 2. So met wilde, met suiwer hart, it shouldn't start with that, it should start with the woeste wedren, but they want to emphasize the heart and what's going on in this person's heart. That's what they're emphasizing. They also use a lot of infashi just to make the things rhyme here, because they stick to this cross rhyme right throughout. So that means you have to jumble the sentence a bit to make sure that you get rhyming words at the end of the line. Okay. Then you have this nice alliteration here of woeste wedren. Okay. So that WW, woeste, that could it could be an imagery of the sound that if you're running, that's the sound of the wind going over your ears, that as you're running. It also indicates how fast he's running. This guy's gunning, he's going. Okay. And yeah, that's nice alliteration, and it's functional. Okay, I would ask what the function is there. It points to how fast he's running and how the wind is going across the ears. Then this is a very interesting one. Okay, so I would definitely ask this. They use the word wedren. Wedren is not the right word for a race where people run. Okay, that's wrong. Wedren is when cars race. Okay, the right word is wedloop. That's the right word. So did the poet make a mistake? No. They don't make mistakes, okay? This is a decorated poet. He doesn't make mistakes. This is very deliberate. Okay, so what is he trying to do with that? Why is he opting for that? What is he trying to achieve? Well, it creates, and yeah, I say, it creates this idea, the idea that the Aliet a machine is, that he's like a machine, well-oiled, fast machine with baie vinnig kan hardloop. And perhaps if they want 2 marks, it emphasizes the intensity of the wedloop. I mean, a car race is much more intense than people running. That's boring. Car race is fast, it's loud, it's intense. Okay, so very clever use of the word wedren there. If your teacher has another idea there, throw it in there. Okay, I just put 2 there. I'm sure if you dig down further into that rabbit hole that you'll get more. Okay, then they use the word male. Okay, now we don't really work in miles, so I mean it was really still when we were under British influence way back then when we still ran in miles. Nobody here runs in miles, okay? But it's a sign of the time that they're running in, okay? But it also just indicates that this is a long distance race. Okay, then they use this word rapper voet. So rapper is just another word for vinniger, but rapper just sounds better, isn't it? Rapper is like a rapper, it's 2 quick syllables. Why is it functional? It fits in with the quick steps, the sound of the quick steps of when you're running. Okay, what did I say here? Vinnige voete. Is 'n ouer woord vir vinnig, maar die kort lettergrepe pas by die voetstappe van die atleet, die voetstappe, die tree wat hy gee. Rappe. So clever, very skillful use of words here. This is an artist working here with words. This is a poet. This is not just anybody. Okay. Getart. It says there with every step he teased him. I don't think that he. I think it's just a sign of intense self-esteem. You didn't tease them literally. Loser, I'm in front, meh, and show ponying stuff and that stuff like that. No, and making that chicken thing on your head, like the rugby boys do. You know what I'm talking about. Rugby players, rugby boys. Okay, it's not that. This is just, it looks like he's toying with them. He's playing with them. Okay, They're so slow, they're so far behind. Then he uses the word lopers, die vlugste lopers. He's going to win the, he's going to beat, sorry, he's going to beat the fastest runners. But he doesn't use the word hardlopers, he uses the word lopers. Now you can use that, you can use lopers to it's also old form of referring to runners. However, it's never just a coincidence. Lopers could also just mean walkers. Okay, so he runs so fast that it makes the other guys look like they're walking. That's the suggestion. It says, it suggereer dat die atleet so vinnig is dat het lyk of die ander atlete loop. Okay, that's just a note. So if there are something there, maybe say something like that. It makes them look like they're walking compared to his running. Then again we have the cross rhyme, which we'll talk about later. Okay, stanza 3. Sy hart het hoog geklop. Okay, just means he's giving his best. Sy bloed was heet. Heet is also an old word for warm. And heet rhymes nicely with gemeet. So that's quite clever. Maybe that's why he used that word. And then they use inversie again, like I said, to force the rhyme. So they're forcing the rhyme with the inversie. Then they mention his hare golf, his wavy hair bouncing. Okay, so that word wave could be a first suggestion of the sea, first reference to the sea water, the waves. And we know that because later on there's another reference, so that might be a prediction to that reference. So there are subtle clues here that something is coming, little predictions, little seeds that they plant to point forward to what's going to happen after the shift in the poem, after the wending. Okay, then this is an interesting one. Hy meet die baan. Yeah, met snelle draf. Snelle again, old word for vinnig. So snelle draf het hy die baan gemeet. Now gemeet could mean that you judge something. Okay, I meet the situasie op, so you assess or interpret the situation. But it could quite literally mean that he knows what he's doing. He's measuring, as he's running, he's going like, I have 2.7 kilometers left, checking his watch, I'm on time. It really points to his experience as a runner, pacing himself correctly, checking that he's on track the whole time. So you can just say that he's 'n ervare atleet. Hy weet presies wat afstand oor is. He knows what distance is left. He knows if he's hitting his time goals. So that word meet is measure, and it shows his meticulousness. That he's really, like, this guy really knows what he's doing. He's like flipping serious runner. Okay, he doesn't just run and try and run as fast as he can, and no, he paces himself, he measures himself, he leaves nothing up to chance. Okay, then they use a meet. Can I just do this? I'm just going to take this English block out quickly. Thank you. Then I can move my face there, and then I can move this closer here so we can actually see what we're doing. Cool. That's better. Alright, I meet die baan. That was, okay. Then they used line 8, die vreug van spierkrag was op sy gesig. So they used the word vreug, which is it's not a word, okay? It should be vreugde. Okay, so once again, that's not a coincidence. So they must ask you why, what are they doing? What's the function of this? What does this mean? They're just shortening the word to fit with the fast rhythm and movement of this runner. And it could also mean that his joy is slowly being reduced on a letter-to-letter basis. The vreugde is becoming less. You might be like, oh, yeah, I'm enjoying this, but yeah, so I'm starting to feel my age. I'm not feeling that great. Okay. Also predicts to what's going to happen now, because there's certainly going to be someone chasing him. Okay, so it could have double meaning there. That word vreug. I would like to ask a question on that and see if people could answer that. Anyway. Okay. Then, where are we now? Toe is die donker by die vraag. Ongesiene marker agter. Okay, where's? Okay, there we go. Sorry, I'm sorry. Keep losing my place. So line number 9. Hy het geloop met stormdrang in sy bloed. Okay. So die stormdrang. Okay, let's just move this whole poem down now. Thank you. So I can match up, yeah. Great stuff. Hy het geloop met stormdrang in sy bloed. So stormdrang means like a passionate storm and motivation in his blood. But again, there they use the word geloop. And I did take a note there, look. Okay. Why didn't they just say hardloop? No, they used the word geloop. So maybe he literally started walking on a literal level, of dalk 'n afkorting of 'n verkorting dat hy's vinnig hardloop. Okay, so it's just like, well, we're not going to say hardloop, we're going to say geloop because he's still running so fast. But it's a subtle little clue that there's a shift coming. They could have just used the word hardloop. That would have been fine. But they used the word geloop. Okay? So don't let little details slip by you. Okay? Then say asemstoot, 'n hete wind gejaag. So ademstoot is also, it's a very old word just for breathing, asemhaling. Now it's a chasing for wind. That means he's out of breath. Die atleet word moeg. Die momentum van die gedig begin verander. There's a definite shift happening in the poem even before the official wending with two. Okay? Die see se branding in sy strenge moed. Die see se branding. Wow, now we're bringing in this metaphor again of the sea. We could have sort of predicted it there with his haregolf. Okay, there. But now we have it officially and ostensibly mentioned here. So this is die tweede verwysing na die see. Why? Okay. The sea shows us that everything changes. Okay. As the tides change. Whether we like it or not, we cannot stop the tides. Just like we cannot stop the aging process. There's going to come a time where every single athlete retires. When Usain Bolt broke the 100-meter record, it was inevitable that there will be a time when he can't run at that pace speed anymore, that he has to retire. One day Usain Bolt will grow old. One day he will die. Okay. Just like the sea. So it's just die see se getye is 'n simbool van verandering. It's a symbol of change. I'm trying to take that away. It's a symbol of change. Die atleet se gety en momentum verander. Okay. Let me just fix that. Verander. Sy longe brand soos soutwater. You also get this feeling that, you know, like salt water burns your chest when you breathe, when you swallow it, or it goes down the wrong pipe, it burns, okay? Like his lungs are burning for the first time and he's feeling it. Then we have Inyambament in line, okay, hang on, there's the 2. So this Inyambament must come out here. Okay, then we have the 2. That is the vending. Okay, so toe hy reeds die donker bitter vraag. So now there's a dark bitter question, a dark bitter realization. I'm not going to win forever. Okay, it's not going to keep going. It's inevitable. I'm going to slow down. I can feel it. There's something chasing me. And here we get the explanation after the double punt. That double punt shows us that now we know what all these dark predictions are about. Die atleet wen, maar die momentum het na 'n bitter besef gelei. So the athlete wins. Yes, he's still winning. But the momentum shift brought him to a bitter insight. His aftrede, when he has to stop, when he has to retire, is coming closer. And then by extension, on a human level, ons almal se lewenspad gaan eindig. It's all going to end. Okay. Every year, we are 1 year closer to dying. And it's a stark contrast to the first 2 stanzas of the poem. Okay. Where everything was just like invincibility and possibility. Okay. Now we come to this ongesiene makker. You never saw him coming, nooit gesien kom nie, he's unseen, you can't really see him. Well, you can't see aging, you can't see decline in your body, you can't physically see it. It's unexpected and it creeps up on you. Okay, one morning you wake up and you're 40. Next morning you wake up and you're 50. It happens quickly, trust me. Okay, and it's ironic because it's not your friend. Aging is not your friend. He calls him his makker. Makker is just another word for a friend. Then we have that another chest. One day you realize somebody else's chest is going to break that lint. It's onvoorkombaar. It's unstoppable. It's inevitable. Okay. Then there's that question there is a rhetorical question. Doesn't need an answer. It's obvious. It is going to happen. You can't win forever in anything. Okay. Then there's that Inyambament. Let me just paste it back in line 14, 15. See, van wie se voet langs syne en die wind van asem agter. So it flows into the next line. That shows die tempo van die ander atleet versnel. The tempo of that other athlete is fast. It's picking up. Het dui op hoe vinnig hy hardloop. Okay. Last stanza. Die vreemde spanmaat het hy nie geken. He didn't know this athlete. He didn't expect that he would ever slow down. He felt so great in his youth. Nooit hardloop hy weer sonder pyn of vrees. That pain of that realization, that fear that he could lose, it will always now be with him. Okay. When you're young, you think you're never going to die. When you feel you're getting older, that pain and fear eats at you. Hy weet al, hy het nou die loop gewen. He won this race. Again, they used the word loop to show that there's slowing down, that there's decline. And then die ander man sal eendag eerste wees. Now he doesn't call him his friend anymore. So he goes from the ongesiene makker to die vreemde spanmaat to die ander man. there's a progression in how negatively he views this competitor. Then we just, the cross rhyme, this cross rhyme, and they stick to this cross rhyme, come hello high water. They use a lot of inversion just to make sure that the rhyme is always there. And you could just say, well, it emphasizes the battle with the other athletes, but also that inner conflict with the limitations that age and nearing death brings. Okay, if you say it like that, I'm sure you'll get your marks. The theme could be like, winning is temporary. We're winning is tijdelijk. Eventually age catches up with us, and eventually death catches up with us as well. Alright, I hope that that helps and makes a bit of sense. Please compare this with your teacher's notes, and also do the questions. If you have a book that you work out of, do these questions. But if you can share this with your friends on your WhatsApp status, on your groups, it'll just really help me to keep going with this work, so I can continue making videos and helping you and my young family, my 2 kids. It'll mean a lot to us. But all the best for this year. It's the most important here in your life. If you're in grade 12, don't mess it up. Work hard, and make good decisions. And then we'll chat soon. And it was good to make another video for CAPS students. Chat soon. This is Henk from Afrikaans Made Simple.